you ever heard of a house that was under construction for 38 years straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? It sounds impossible, right? But this is the true story of the Winchester Mystery House, a sprawling, bizarre mansion in San Jose, California, that stands as a monument to one woman's grief, fear, and obsession. This isn't just a story about architecture. It's a deep dive into the mind of its eccentric owner, Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune. What drove her to build a house with doors that open to nowhere, stairs that lead to ceilings, and a labyrinth of rooms designed to confuse not just the living, but the dead? Today, we unlock the doors and explore the chilling tale behind America's most haunted and perplexing home. The story begins not with a blueprint, but with a tragedy. Sarah Winchester was living a comfortable, privileged life. She was married to William Wirt Winchester, the son of Oliver Winchester, the man behind the famous Winchester repeating rifle, the gun that won the West. They had a beautiful daughter named Annie. But their world shattered when Annie died in infancy, followed just over a decade later by William's death from tuberculosis. Sarah was left a widow, devastated and alone, but also incredibly wealthy. She inherited a fortune that would be worth over $500 million today, plus a 50% stake in the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. But all the money in the world couldn't fill the void left by her family. Consumed by grief, Sarah sought answers. Legend has it she consulted a spiritual medium in Boston. The medium delivered a terrifying message. Sarah's family was cursed. The spirits of all the people killed by Winchester rifles were restless and angry, and they had taken her husband and child as revenge. The medium told her there was only one way to appease these vengeful ghosts and save her own life. She had to move west, find a new home, and never, ever stop building. As long as the sound of hammers echoed, the spirits would be confused and unable to harm her. So in 1886, Sarah packed her bags and moved to the Santa Clara Valley in California. She purchased a modest 8-room farmhouse and immediately hired a team of carpenters. This was the beginning of the most bizarre construction project in American history. The work never stopped. Day and night, for 38 years, the house grew without any master plan. Sarah would allegedly hold nightly seances in a special room, the Blue Room, where she believed she received building instructions directly from the spirits. Each morning, she would hand-deliver crude, hand-drawn sketches to her foreman, and the carpenters would get to work. The result is a sprawling 160-room mansion that defies all logic. Imagine walking through it. You open a door on the second floor, only to find a 2-story drop to the garden below. You climb a flight of stairs that leads directly into the ceiling. You navigate a winding hallway that doubles back on itself, or you find a beautiful, ornate, stained glass window installed in a wall with no light source behind it. There are tiny doors, giant doors, skylights in the floor, and chimneys that stop just short of the roof. The number 13 is a recurring motif throughout the house. There are 13 panes in many windows, 13 steps on staircases, 13 hooks in closets, and even 13 drain holes in the kitchen sink. This obsession was another part of her plan to confuse the spirits. She believed the number had a special, mystical power that would keep evil at bay. Life inside the mansion was as peculiar as its design. Sarah lived like a recluse, shrouded in a black veil of mourning, rarely seeing anyone but her staff. To further elude the ghosts she believed haunted her, she would sleep in a different bedroom every night, choosing from the dozens available. The house was her fortress, her prison, and her sanctuary all at once. The constant construction was not just to confuse ghosts, it was her life's purpose. A way to channel her immense grief and fear into something tangible. It was a project born from a broken heart and a terrifying prophecy. The endless construction only came to a halt on September 5, 1922, when Sarah Winchester passed away in her sleep at the age of 82. The moment she died, the hammers fell silent for the first time in 38 years. She left behind a maze-like mansion filled with secrets and unanswered questions. The contents of her safe, when finally opened, revealed only locks of hair from her deceased daughter and husband, along with their obituaries. Her will made no mention of the house or its purpose, leaving future generations to speculate. Today, the Winchester Mystery House is a popular tourist attraction. Visitors can tour the baffling corridors and hear the stories of its strange construction. Many people who visit or work there claim to have experienced paranormal activity. They report hearing disembodied footsteps, seeing doorknobs turn on their own, and feeling sudden cold spots. Some have even claimed to see the ghostly figure of Sarah herself, still wandering the halls of the home she could never finish. Is the house truly haunted by the spirits of those killed by the Winchester rifle, or is it simply the physical manifestation of one woman's profound sorrow and psychological trauma? The story of Sarah Winchester and her bizarre house is a fascinating blend of history, mystery, and the supernatural. Was she a brilliant, eccentric architect with a unique vision, or a tormented soul held captive by a psychic's curse? Perhaps the truth is a bit of both. Her grief was real, her fear was real, and the house, this sprawling, nonsensical, beautiful, and terrifying monument, is the undeniable physical proof of her incredible story. It stands not just as a landmark of strange architecture, but as a haunting memorial to a life defined by loss and a desperate, never-ending quest for peace. What do you think? Was Sarah a visionary or a victim of her own mind? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the Winchester Mystery House. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss our next deep dive into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.